Everyone loves to have an opinion on gaming these days, especially on big titles such as Call of Duty. And today, I'm here to tell you that if your main complaints about this game aren't just about the bugs or general game issues such as crashing and other issues like that, you are way over complaining about this new title. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is Drew or PescaroDB, and like I said, if you're complaining about Modern Warfare 2 from the standpoint of your game's always crashing, social features and basic other features are not working in the game, you're not connecting to lobbies, anything like that, I can totally understand it, and I see where you're coming from. I have had plenty of issues of those of my own, although recently I watched a YouTube video and got some updated settings, at least for NVIDIA graphics cards, if you're on PC. I'm running a 2060 Super, and ever since I watched that video, I think I've maybe crashed twice. And both of those times were when myself and everyone else I was playing with crashed. So I don't know if that's just like the game crashed in general, or in other words, I'm not crashing individually on my own nearly as much as I see a lot of people are. I'll link that video down below. If you're using an NVIDIA graphics card, I think this could probably help you out a ton. As I just made a few tweaks in my general settings in game, as well as in NVIDIA control panel and Windows, and it made a world of a difference. I'll link that down below. It should help you out. The fact of the matter is, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is an insanely successful title. I know we're just into the beginning. We're not even a month into the game. We just started Season 1. I know there's a lot of time left on this game, especially if it ends up being a 2-year life cycle, which I guess right now is kind of up in the air. We got some news saying there might be a full premium release next year. I don't know what to believe. So point being, we're very early into the game's life cycle no matter what. And it has so much to offer. In the age of live service gaming, Call of Duty has failed us a lot. They have not done a good job of keeping us fresh with content, whereas games like Fortnite and Apex and stuff like that, obviously they're the reasons we're in a live service era of video games, because they're constantly pumping out new content for their game on a weekly basis. And Call of Duty for the longest time had struggled to be doing that. But now, I feel like with Modern Warfare 2, they're on a roll. I mean, they started out when you got the game, they gave us the campaign about a week before the actual release, so everyone could experience that. I think that was only for people that pre-ordered, but I want to say most people do that. I could be wrong. But you could play the campaign without having to worry about, oh, I'm going to get behind in multiplayer or Warzone or whatever. So you got to play the campaign in its entirety, and these Modern Warfare 2019 and Modern Warfare 2 have been excellent Call of Duty campaigns. So I'm really glad they went about it this way so that everyone could just take their time with it and enjoy it without having that worry of like getting behind, whether it's on the competitive side or on the content side or anything like that. So we got that. Then a week later, October 25th, I think it was, maybe 28th, one of those two, we got the full, well, I would say full, almost like a beta launch, post-beta, I guess. I don't know how to put it. Point being, you now had access to multiplayer, you now had access to Spec Ops, and obviously you still had access to campaign. The game definitely had bugs and crashing issues and stuff like that, like I said, you could definitely complain about. I completely understand. But when we got multiplayer, one of the biggest things with this was now you could grind camos, grind attachments, because obviously when it comes to Warzone, you want to have all your weapons leveled up to be able to put on the best attachments and things of that nature. So now we had multiplayer out and Spec Ops to be able to do those things. And the experience itself was good for the most part. There was a lot of issues with maps getting taken out and put back in because of legal issues. I think they're still not done with that. There was no ranked play at launch, which we were hoping for, and actually, sadly, we were supposed to get a CDL Mosh Pit playlist at the release of Season 1, but Treyarch, who's in charge of the ranked play this year, told us that there was issues with it, and they weren't going to release it yet, which, if it was really crashing that bad and causing that many issues that it was borderline unplayable, then I guess props to them for not just putting it out there. I do want to have that game mode in soon, but especially since we don't have a ranked playlist yet, but I understand why they did that. But multiplayer itself, you know, you had your basic game modes, TDM, domination, hardpoint, headquarters, kill confirmed, all those things. And I would say that held our interest for a good little while, but eventually, of course, you're like, okay, what's next? Because we've all been hearing, you know, throughout the whole commercial run leading up to the release of this game, we've been hearing about Warzone 2, a whole new Warzone experience, moving away from the Warzone 1 platform. We've been hearing about this new DMZ mode, which a lot of people, I think, got their expectations wrong about. I feel like a lot of people going into it were like, this is going to be Call of Duty's take on Escape from Tarkov. I've played Escape from Tarkov. DMZ is not Escape from Tarkov, not at all. I would say it's way similar to the Cycle Frontier, which I don't know who developed that game, but that honestly was a pretty fun looter extractor type game where there was more to it than just killing enemies. I mean, you were mining for resources and doing all these other things, and there was different factions and whatever, different game. Point being, DMZ is much more related to that. I just feel like ever since the release of Season 1, where we now have what I would say the full game, aside from obviously whatever other content they're going to add in the future, and the ranked playlist, the game has been doing, it's been so good. It has given us so much to do. Multiplayer, obviously, I mean, it's still the same thing. The only complaint that I 100% am with is the competitive community has been getting pretty screwed over. Honestly, they're the only ones who should be complaining about anything other than the just general bugs and crashes that this game has. They had to cancel, there was supposed to be Challengers Cup number 2 today, which is for the amateur Call of Duty scene, people that aren't in the Call of Duty League. And I was actually going to compete in it. I was looking pretty forward to it. And then we got an alert that because the CDL rule set in private matches is broken, and then just private match lobbies in general are pretty scuffed right now, they had to cancel it. They had to cancel the third one and move them to December, a week before the CDL Raleigh Major in December 15 through 18. And people can't scrim right now. They can't practice. They can't do any of the things that are required for improving as a team and as an individual, as a competitive Call of Duty player, because it is a whole different experience than just running around playing public matches. So their complaints are justified, and I'm with them on it because I actually am trying to do some competitive this year, and you literally cannot play any form of competitive scrims or game battles. I mean, I think you technically still can, but like the process of setting up those lobbies and stuff right now is a major hassle, hence why they ended up cutting the Challengers Cups, which was unfortunate, but I guess I'd rather it be canceled than be playing it and it's just extremely broken. Everyone's crashing and not being able to connect. That would be a nightmare. And then there's the people that play Warzone 2. And first of all, I think everyone agrees proximity chat is one of the coolest and arguably the best feature that it has right now. It allows for so much more of a dynamic experience than just sweating, trying to have the best meta, trying to go for 100 wins in a row, and actually you can drop a nuke this year in Warzone. I think, I don't know what the requirement is, but someone's already done it. But point being, Warzone 2 is, I would say, a lot more casual feeling than, like Warzone when it first came out, this is what I'm trying to say. Warzone when it first came out was pretty casual. It didn't have the proximity chat or anything, but people weren't great at it. Kind of like any battle royale. Everyone was just feeling it out. No one knew what was good, what was bad. And obviously as Warzone evolved, people figured it out and the meta would change and you had to use that and you had to really try or else you weren't going to have fun because you were just going to get eliminated really quickly. Whereas now, I feel like now that Warzone 2 is out, we're kind of back in that casual feeling, at least for my lobbies that I've played in. I've had so much fun with just finding people in the proximity chat. I think the new gulag system's okay. I see why people complain about it with it being 2v2, especially in solos. I don't get that. That's an argument I can see. But Warzone 2 overall, aside from it being buggy and crashing and people having those types of issues, which again, I highly suggest watching that video that I linked down below. It could help you out a lot, especially if you're on PC with an NVIDIA graphics card. But overall, the gameplay is a lot of fun. It does get confusing when you're playing Warzone 2 and there's actual people and then there's AI enemies. Because the AI, I'll give Infinity Ward props. I mean, at times, you don't know who is AI versus who is in like another player in the lobby. It's actually, it can be difficult sometimes, especially if you run into like a big group of them. But Warzone 2, to me, has been a lot of fun. And proximity chat makes it more dynamic and less sweaty, if you will. And overall, I feel like people are complaining about it because some of the movement aspects got taken out, such as slide canceling, and there's been a few arguments I guess I could agree with, such as people not being able to put plates on while they're running. I think that could be a quality of life change that they should look at for sure. But I feel like so many people switched from playing the regular Warzone to playing the Rebirth Island of Warzone, which in my opinion is not a battle royale. I'm sorry, it's more like a glorified TDM on a bigger scale. And I think people got so used to that fast-paced style of battle royale that when Warzone 2 came out and you couldn't slide cancel and it wasn't a small map and it was a lot slower paced, and I think it could be fixed by adding more players per lobby if they can handle it from a server perspective, because sometimes it takes a while to find some people, but overall, it's obviously a slower paced experience than Rebirth Island and those smaller modes, and people are not happy about it. I think they're not happy that movement is less of a thing in this game, and it's more about strategic placement and being able to actually aim and things like that. But to that, I say just adapt. Like, I understand you want to have movement and all that, and you know what? I wish Call of Duty still had jetpacks. I wish that it was Black Ops 3 and I could still, double tap A or whatever, and all of a sudden I'm flying across the map. Fact of the matter is, that's not Call of Duty, and it hasn't been like that since Infinite Warfare, which was like 2017, 2018? No, 2016, 2017. God, I've been playing Call of Duty for a while. So obviously, I can't just go running around the map in multiplayer, double tapping A, expecting to be flying around, because that feature is not in the game, and I will get destroyed if I try to play like that. So I've adapted, I've changed, we're on boots on the ground. We have been for a while now, because so many of us, not myself, but so many Call of Duty fans complained about the jetpack era, and that's why we haven't had it since. So I've adapted, I've gotten used to. This game allows you to, dolphin dive and slide. You can really use that to your advantage when trying to escape situations. Jump shotting and drop shotting are kind of back into the mix as being like very strong modes of getting kills. My point is, you got to adapt. If you like the game overall, you like this, everything about it, but your one complaint is, well, it doesn't feel like Warzone 1. Well, it's like, either go play Warzone 1, which actually I don't even think you can. They might have taken the servers off. Or option number 2, just adapt, okay? It's a new game. It's a new experience. That's what they told us. It's not supposed to just be like Overwatch 1 going to Overwatch 2, which is really Overwatch 1.2 or whatever, 1.1, where it's literally a copy paste of the game. It's supposed to be a different experience, and I think people just need to slow down a little bit and take some time to enjoy that and learn it and get used to it, because I think a lot of this can go back to, people can make the argument like content is ruining gaming and stuff like that. And in a lot of ways, from a casual perspective, I can see it, because, everyone's just so wants to have the best clips, the best content, the best loadout videos, all this other stuff. And like, the game just came out. No one really knows what to do yet. Like, we're all still learning it, feeling it out. Enjoy that. I mean, enjoy that it's more casual and not so sweaty right now. And then my last piece with DMZ, and I kind of touched on this before, but like I said, everyone had the expectation coming in, this was going to be Call of Duty's version of Escape from Tarkov, and as soon as they realized it wasn't, everyone just said, well, this mode sucks. It's not fun. I don't like it. If you're not a fan of PvE, I mean, there is PvP in DMZ. Primarily, it is a PvE experience. In other words, you're going up against AI and you're not just like the whole point of DMZ isn't just drop in, get as many kills as you can, win the match. That's not how a looter, extractor, shooter works, which is what DMZ is trying to be. It's fun, especially for people like myself who enjoyed games like the Cycle Frontier, or enjoyed game modes like Zombies, where it was a completely different experience than multiplayer and Warzone or anything else, in the sense that, I mean, you could just do round by round, keep getting kills, seeing how high you could go, or you could do all the side quests and get really into the lore. And with DMZ, I mean, you can just drop in and go and kill the AI, or you can do all the little missions and challenges that it gives you. And you can even unlock the M13 from MW 2019 through DMZ, through doing missions within the game. It is just a lot more of a laid back, chill experience. You drop in with two of your friends. I understand if you don't have friends to play it with, it's probably boring. It wouldn't be fun. I can understand that. But you drop in with two of your friends, because I believe it's only 3 players right now. And you can really just explore the entire map, because it takes place on the same map as Warzone 2. Do different things like the strongholds. And these enemies, I'm telling you, they are not easy to defeat. The AI, especially in the stronghold situations and just whenever they're really grouped up, they're no joke. It's a lot sometimes. I'll admit, I get destroyed by the AI sometimes. The mode is its own thing, and when you're not just expecting it to be the exact same thing as multiplayer or Warzone, there's a lot of fun aspects to it, and you get a lot of XP from it, so you can also use it as a way to rank up your guns. It's also just a fun way to explore the map that we've been given, the brand new Warzone-sized map of Al Mazrah. And I think people need to realize what it is that they're playing before just being very loud with their opinion on it, and just saying like, this sucks, this isn't good, this is not Tarkov, it's a joke. Again, if your major complaints about Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, DMZ, all of that, if your major complaints are my game's crashing, it's buggy, basic features aren't working, such as the socials menu, I'm right there with you. But if you're just straight up complaining that the game isn't fun, there's no content, it's not the same as what the other stuff was, then just say you don't like the game. The game isn't bad. There's a disconnect there that if you don't like the game, it's bad. I do that a lot of the times. I joke with my friends. They'll be playing something I don't really care for, I don't really like. I'm like, yeah, it's a dog shit franchise. Doesn't mean it's a bad game. I could say that about God of War. Just because and I've never played it, so I can't say, but let's just say I played God of War once, don't really like it. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's a bad game. Clearly it is a fantastic franchise, and the new release is probably going to get Game of the Year. And just, I think Modern Warfare 2 should be praised a lot more than it has been given. I feel like it's received a lot of criticism. And in all honesty, Call of Duty has finally caught up with the times, if you will, in the live service era of gaming. They've provided us a lot of content, a lot of different experiences within one game. And there's obviously still more to come. The competitive community, I still feel bad for you guys. They need to get their shit together in that regard. But for everyone else, enjoy the game for what it is, or just find a different game to play. Call of Duty, Infinity Ward, Treyarch, all the developers that worked on Modern Warfare 2, I think they've done a fantastic job. I don't know if anyone from those studios is going to see this, but overall, I think they did a fantastic job. I'm loving my time on this game, and that's going to wrap up this video. I'd like to hear your thoughts on the things I said about Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, DMZ. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments section about this, just because I feel like the things I said, I'm not trying to tell you this is how you should think. I'm telling you this is how I think, and I'd love to have an open dialogue, see where some of those complaints are coming from, see people that also love the game as much as I do. Drop a like on this video, whether you agree, whether you disagree. Just if you like the video in general, be sure to drop a like. It helps me out, helps the channel out. I would greatly appreciate it. And for more content like this, be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. I also post shorts pretty regularly. I stream on YouTube, all my content aside from tweeting on Twitter, duh. everything that's going on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to never miss an upload or stream. And until next time, peace out.